playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit.
Fantasy Headliners Nation. Headliner Nation. Fantasy Headliners for the nation. I'm a headliner. I'm a headliner.
Yo. Analytics off the chain. All the channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game. Y'all stuck on third down. Your content's plain Jane. Headliners on top now. We gonna move and change. Podcast off the rip. Draft guide, so legit. Fantasy world, our game tight. You know we about that chub life. Stuck in a rut and you need some motivation. Head to the channel for this Headliner Nation.
I'm a headliner.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Fantasy Headliners. Welcome in to everybody but Bill. Bill gets a small timeout for saying naughty things right off the bat. But ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's Sunday. It's Sunday. Which is weird because it's been a while since we've been live on a Sunday, right? Normally this is an in-season thing, but here we are. Live Sunday. We're getting closer, ladies and gentlemen. It is the end of June. It is June 25th. We're getting closer. Training camps, preseason, then regular season. Oh, let's go, baby. What's up? Oh, my. Rafi Bomb is out there. Thomas, Nick, Walter John. After the huddle, you can post any question you want. Dennis, love my Niners. Ben, who holds the record for most receiving yards in a single game? It's Calvin Johnson, isn't it? Ultimate Warrior, what's going on? I believe it's Calvin Johnson. It's not. I don't know who it is then, if it's not Calvin Johnson. Nobody from 90 to 2023. I don't know then. I have no idea then. I wouldn't be able to tell you. Yo, we got 71 people in the chat. 71 people in the chat. Do me a favor right now. If you're watching this video and you have not done so, I need you to just tap the like button really quick. Just smack it real quick with your mouse. Okay? Just really quick. Ultimate Warrior, I'm having a great day. Hopefully you're having a great day as well. Flacco, what's going on? Jason James, I was offered Ritter and the 29-24. I assume that's 2024. 2.01. Team was fully stripped down for my Lance and a 2024 third. Should I take the deal? So wait. You were offered Desmond Ritter and the 2024 2.01 for your Trey Lance and a 2024 third. I would take that. As much as I like Lance and I still hope he gets an opportunity, that's just not a given at this point. Desmond Ridder is the starter in Atlanta, and you're getting a bump up to the 2.01 from a 2024 third. I absolutely take that. Willie Flipper Anderson, he dropped 336 against the Saints. Good question of the day. I like that. I like that. Ben Desmond gifting 1 membership to the Fantasy Headliners community, and that goes to Rafi Bomb. Rafi, make sure you drop a little thank you there for Ben. Oh, you already did. You're way ahead of me, Rafi. I appreciate it. Ryan Vogel becoming a member for the 22nd month. Oh, man, a headliner Sunday stream preseason. Love it. Welcome in, everybody. Oh, you said like button, not gift button. They both are the same thing. Who do you prefer most as your best value tight end? Well, I actually did a video last night on my sleeper tight end for the draft guide, but I can't tell you that because that would be exposing our super secret dark secrets, and we can't do that right now on the web because you have to get the draft guide to be able to get that. Who else would I take as my value tight end? Let me take a look. Let me take a look here real quick. See what some updated rankings are. I mean, hold on, I got something in my eye. I got something in my eye. Okay. I mean, Pat Freiermuth right now is the tight end 10. I think that's pretty good value. Pat Freiermuth to me is a guy that isn't going to have a whole lot of upside every single week, but I don't think you're going to have to chase him for targets every single week. You should be able to lock him in for 6 to 10 targets a week, and even if the upside isn't there for you, I would still rather have a tight end that's getting targets and is safe every single week than trying to chase a guy that's going to give me tight end 1 numbers every single week. So I don't think that's bad value at all going tight end 10 for Pat Freiermuth right now. Sean, does anyone else wake up thinking about Breece Hall's knee? More people should be thinking about Breece Hall's knee. I think people just completely dismiss the fact that the dude was injured last year. Everyone needs to keep in mind with Breece Hall that typically after a serious tear like that, you have hamstring issues. Dalvin Cook, remember him. Saquon Barkley, remember him. J.K. Dobbins last year. Just saying. Brian, hey Kyle, if you're doing a 12-man keeper, how many keepers do you recommend? I don't want too many, and it'll feel like a dynasty. I would say 2 or 3. 2 or 3 is a solid number right there. Steve B, offline draft. Should I use rankings on tiers when reaching the mid-rounds? If you're doing an offline draft, I would recommend using our cheat sheets in the Fantasy Headliners Draft Guide, which will be dropping on July 1st. Either our cheat sheets for standard, half, or full PPR, or our tier rankings, whichever one you prefer. But I would recommend using those because I feel like, not being biased at all, they're the best. Adam, I'm doing Dynasty Startup this year, my first ever one. Half PPR, 2 quarterbacks, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 2 flex. I have the 4th pick. What should I be looking to take here? Dynasty, Superflex League, or 2 QB League? I'm going quarterback. You got to go quarterback at 4 overall in the Dynasty 2 quarterback league. Absolutely have to. After the huddle, rank my core Dynasty team. Picks are in order. Lawrence, Kelsey, Hill, Diggs, Stevenson, Mixon, and Tua. Young at the tight end position. Kelsey is going to be on his last leg, though, so make sure you have a young tight end to replace him if you need. Hill, Diggs, Stevenson. I like it. Mixon, hopefully he bounces back a little bit this year. If I had to give it a grade, I'd say solid B+. Solid B+. Hold on a second. My thing just scrolled. I'm trying to go in order here. Alex. Would you trade a 2025 first and 2024 second for Zay Flowers and Kendre Miller? My gut tells me no. My gut tells me no. If I'm trading a first, typically I like to get instant impact. And we don't know if Zay Flowers and Kendre Miller are going to give us instant impact. Heck, we don't know what Kendre Miller may give us anytime soon. What if Alvin Kamara gets out of this with no suspension or whatever, and then they have Alvin Kamara, who will still be getting plenty of touches, and you have Jamal Williams. Kendre Miller is not going to see a whole lot. So you're kind of trading a 2025 first for a what if. Normally, if I'm trading a first rounder, I like to get a little guarantee back. Garrett Wilson or Jalen Waddle? Gotta go with Garrett Wilson over Jalen Waddle. Dynasty redraft, just because Garrett Wilson doesn't have Tyreek Hill on the other side taking away opportunity. Lee Mack, how do you get the draft guide? That's a great question. In the description of this video down below, there is a link that takes you over to thefantasyheadliners.com. When you get there, right on the main page, it's going to say pre-order your 2023 draft guide. You're going to click pre-order. It's going to take you through all the steps. You're going to put in your information. You're going to hit submit, and you're going to get it emailed to you on July 1st. It'll be the same way as last year, ladies and gentlemen. So on July 1st, you're going to get instructions emailed to you that's going to say, hey, this is how you access the draft guide. The draft guide will be accessible through our website, thefantasyheadliners.com. So you'll be able to go in and see everything. And this year's draft guide, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely guaranteed to be a banger. And I cannot wait for you all to see it. It's got a whole new format. It's going to have a whole new layout. There's tons of video content, but not only are you going to have the video content if you prefer that, but it's also going to be readable as well. So you're going to have the video up above, and down below the video is going to be translated for you. So you're going to be able to go through and read if you would rather do that. Everything is printable. If you want to print any of those things, you can. There's also going to be comments on all the videos. So if you wanted to leave a comment, we would see it and be able to help with those questions potentially. Not guaranteeing anything, but we'd be able to help with some of those questions, clarifications, and things like that. It's going to be absolutely incredible this year. Close to 200 player profiles to start. All video. I've been recording videos for weeks now. All right, still trying to go through some of these questions here. JL Green. Hey, Kyle, sorry for joining late. No, you're not late. You're just on time. How do you think overall the Ravens will do this year? I'm seriously considering Zay Flowers as my number 3 wide receiver. I would be careful banking on Zay Flowers to be a constant contributor. I don't have anything against the guy, but there's just so much potential on that team for targets. Like, targets could go anywhere at any point in time. Rashad Bateman's coming back. You're going to have OBJ that's going to want to prove the doubters wrong. You're going to have Zay Flowers. You're going to have J.K. Dobbins, who's going to be healthy, hopefully. You're going to have Mark Andrews. Yes, they're probably going to be passing it a little bit more this year. But outside of Mark Andrews, I don't know if we can lock anyone into guaranteed targets. Zay Flowers, for me, is a guy that if you draft him as your wide receiver 3, he's typically you're drafting him as like your wide receiver 4 or 5, and maybe you mix him in throughout. Any OTA hype you've heard you just aren't buying? Honestly, I'm not listening to much of it right now anyway. I mean, I'm keeping an eye on it and listening to different things, but for the most part, it's keeping little bits of information in my head and kind of going from there. I'm not really taking too much right now. Dornage, what's going on? In a PPR 12-man keeper league, I keep Jetta in the 11th round with the 5th pick. Do you go A.J. Brown, D-Tay? Who's D-Tay? St. Brown or go tight end Kelsey? I mean, personally, I'm going to go, since you have Jetta already, I'm going to go probably Kelsey at the 5th pick if he's still there. Scott, do you think Devontae Smith could outscore A.J. Brown this? No. There's a unfortunate misconception on Devontae Smith that people are taking an extrapolated amount of games when Dallas Goedert was hurt, and using that to basically say, oh, Devontae Smith did this during this stretch. He absolutely could do it for a full season, while also forgetting the fact that Dallas Goedert was hurt the entire time. So no, he's not going to outscore A.J. Brown. He will be boomer bust again this year. He's going to have some good games. He's going to have some down games as well. He's essentially the Tyler Lockett to DK Metcalf in that sense, if you wanted to find a comparison. Travis Knott with the $2 donation. Are we still not drafting quarterbacks early this year? I'm going to let you all know right now, Jake and I disagree on this. We talked about it the other night. Jake is still not going quarterback early this year. And I understand it. Like, I'm not saying anything. I understand why, because obviously we have been on that side for a while now. I have changed up my thought process this year, and I have Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts both inside my top 10 players this year. If you wanted to spend a first-round pick on Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts, I would not argue against it. I wouldn't argue against it. Patrick Mahomes, for me, is more of a second-round pick. With the change in wide receivers again this year, I just don't foresee the same type of QB1 finishes last year. Still a solid second-round pick. And then, again, if you don't want to spend those picks on quarterbacks, I absolutely get it, because you've got guys like Lamar Jackson, who is a late second, early third-round pick for me. Joe Burrow, third round. Justin Herbert, third round. Justin Fields, maybe into the third, early fourth. So you're going to have plenty of opportunities later on. So I understand if you were to say, I'm not going quarterback early. I completely get it, because there's going to be good enough value later on. But at the same time, too, I understand that Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts offer you upside in the first round that you may not get, upside and consistency in the first round that you may not get from other players, especially at the running back position. So I absolutely get it. Absolutely. Doggy, Jake does a video every other day. He's always on here. Jake and I go back and forth on videos. Typically, I've been doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and he's been doing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. We switched it a little bit this week. So he's going Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday this week. And then we're going to try and go back and forth on live streams. We're going to try doing at least a live stream a week from now on. Let me ask this question real quick, and we're going to get back. Oh, real quick. Walter John McGowan becoming a member of Full Chub here on the channel. Walter John, thanks so much for becoming a member. Appreciate you. Oh, DT is Devontae Adams. Dornage. No, not him. I can't say too much else about that right now either. Draft guide. Yo, let me ask a question real quick. Before I keep going into and answering your questions, I need you all to answer a question for me, and it's going to be about this right here on the bottom of the screen. Is there anybody watching right now that has not signed up using our code over on, it just disappeared, over on Underdog? Is there anybody that has not signed up using our code on Underdog? And if you haven't, would you care to tell me why? I'm just wondering. I'm answering a lot of your questions. I'm hoping you all can help me out and answer one of mine. By the way, I look good today. The beard is on point. Beard looks real good. Sharp lines, crisp. Dennis has signed up. Dennis, I appreciate you. Using code word headliners, I hope. Ben has been playing. He's signed up and he was playing basketball. Love it. Underdog isn't in Louisiana. We are hearing that. We are hearing that quite a bit, that unfortunately there is... I'm not old enough to legally gamble. That makes sense, Bobby. There's some states where it's not. Like Michigan, like none of my family can sign up for it in Michigan because it's not available in Michigan right now. Thomas, okay, here's one thing, okay? Thomas, you don't like to gamble. I absolutely get it. But you know what you could do, Thomas? You could go over to Underdog. You could sign up, use code word headliners, and deposit $10. You don't even have to play, but you get the draft guide for free if you do that. So I'm wondering if anybody knows that you get the draft guide for free if you sign up. And the draft guide is $21.99. So if you sign up on Underdog and you deposit $10, you get it for over 50% off. So if you're out there watching right now and you haven't signed up on Underdog for any reason, I would say that is the biggest reason to do it. Because again, instead of paying $21.99 for it, go sign up on Underdog, deposit $10, and you're going to get it for $10. I would do it. Blitz rules here in Michigan? Yeah. What's up, Anna? Thomas just spitting some knowledge there for you. So I would recommend that. If you guys haven't signed up on Underdog for whatever reason, do that just to get the draft guide. My brother's keeper. As long as you signed up using code word headliners, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when. It does not matter when you signed up. As long as you signed up using code word headliners, you will get the draft guide. Absolutely. But you have to deposit $10 as well. You have to sign up and you have to deposit. Fill in the blank becoming the Oh, this is the largest membership I've seen. Fill in the blank becoming a member for the 25th month. Is there a link? Because you already signed up with Underdog. Understandable. No worries. Is there a separate link to straight up order the draft guide? Absolutely. Would you guys like me to post that? Because I will right now. I tell you guys what, like, I literally can't convey in words how excited I am for you guys to see the draft guide. It's incredible this year. All right, here's the link right here. There's the link right there. So yeah, just click on that link, go pre-order your draft guide. Like I am not kidding. I'm not kidding. Like the draft guide is freaking incredible this year. So much video content this season. Jake and I have literally been recording. I think I've recorded 30 videos in the last 24 hours for the draft guide. All of the breakouts, busts, and sleepers are going to be video, and they're going to have, again, all the wording transcribed so you can read it if you want to. You can print it out if you want to as well. Listen, if we can get 15 people to pre-order the draft guide by the time I'm done here at 12:15-ish. We'll see. If I can get what number did I say? 20 people to pre-order? 15 people? 15 people. We'll just go 15. By the time I'm done at 12:15, if we can get 15 people to pre-order the draft guide, I will pick one of you to get it for free. I will pick one of you to get it for free if 15 people pre-order the draft guide by 12:15. And that will include if you sign up. No, it doesn't include because you get it for free if you sign up on Underdog anyway, so I can't do that. What do you mean, where do you find it on Underdog? The draft guide, it'll be emailed to you on July 1st if you signed up through Underdog. Dornage winning the championship. Dornage, if you ordered yours at the end of last year, then that means you got it at a special pre-order price. So you actually got it cheaper than what it is now. Ben, can you pre-order it for someone else? No, but what we've done in the past is if you super chat the price of it, I'll pick somebody like in the stream to give it to. We've done that before. Nick ordered as well. Love it. Bukowski becoming a member for the 21st month. Who's better at saying Charbonnet, you or Jake? Oh, it's Jake for sure. Jennifer left a question a couple of minutes ago. This is my first time playing Dynasty and only second year playing Fantasy. Currently in the 4th round of drafting. All right, Jennifer. I like that you're expanding into Dynasty. We've been trying to do more Dynasty content this year. And I don't know, because people are asking for it, but then the views show us that people aren't really watching it. So it's weird. It's weird. Ben, that's okay. All right, so Ben did $20 in the super chat. So is there anybody out there? I'm grilling burgers, drinking beer. The Q becoming a member for the 23rd month. I'm grilling burgers, drinking beers, and mock drafting. Happy Sunday, Nation. Who are some red zone sleepers this year, Kyle? That's a good question, Q, and I don't know if I can divulge that information just yet because it might be something we're looking at. I might not be able to answer that question for you today. Opinions on auction drafts? I love auction drafts. I love auction drafts. Absolutely. Absolutely love it. Ben, I like that. Is there anybody in the chat that wants to sign up for Underdog but can't because of where they live and has not pre-ordered their draft guide yet? Get a VPN. Nick telling people to VPN. Hey, more power to you. Dennis, I can't talk about Juwan Johnson. That's another super secret, super dark secret of the draft guide that I can't divulge. Sorry. Can't talk about him right now. You guys are going to have to wait till July 1st. What's next? Cannot sign up for Germany? Boom. Draft guide for what's next. What's next? Send me an email. info@thefantasyheadliners.com. info@thefantasyheadliners.com. Make sure you include your information in it. And we're going to get you a free draft guide courtesy of Ben. Make sure you send a thank you to Ben for that as well. There you go. What's next? And what's next is a member as well. Perfect. Can we go live when we drop the draft guide to talk about it? Potentially, Gregory. I don't hate that idea. Hold on a second. I have to just say July 1st is a Saturday. Potentially. Bobby 2-Pop breaks. That's great information. That's great information, Bobby. Grilling burgers and hot dogs. Anna, enjoy the heat today. You know, glass half full, you can work on your tan, right? There you go. Perfect. Rafi, what are some players that Jake and I completely disagree on? So I already mentioned that we disagree on how early we're drafting quarterbacks. We might disagree on Mark Andrews, but I'm not 100% certain on that. That may be the biggest one so far. But I'm not 100% sure because I don't think Jake has kind of finalized his thought on him. But I know at one point he was concerned about Mark Andrews, and I don't think I'm going to be nearly as concerned. So that might be one where we disagree, but I don't know for sure yet. Do you think Jalen Warren could have a previous year's Alexander Madison type of season? Must play if Najee is hurt. I think he's worth a late round keeper. Only if Najee's hurt. I don't see Jalen Warren doing anything unless Najee's out. I think Najee's going to get 70 to 80% of the running back snaps, to be honest. I'm not as on Jalen Warren as other people are. What's my top 6 in standard leagues? I can actually tell you right now. Who wants a draft guide sneak peek? Let me go to our draft guide rankings actually right now. Take on me. In standard leagues, our top 6 are Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, and Josh Jacobs in standard leagues. Now, I have Josh Allen at number 5 overall in standard leagues and Jalen Hurts at number 6. But again, those are Jake's and I's combined rankings. Those are our combined rankings there. I know that, again, I'm higher up on the list of the quarterbacks this season than what he is. Blitz rules. Breece Hall in the 6th round or Justin Fields in the 16th. 10-team PPR, 1 quarterback keeper. Breece Hall in the 6th then. Absolutely Breece Hall in the 6th. Najee played hurt last season, but there's no guarantee that that's like a reoccurring type of thing. Especially considering how hurt he would be. Kyle, what do you think Damian Harris will do in Buffalo? Not enough. Not enough. He's going to lure you in to flex appeal with some weekly touchdowns, but it's going to be one of those things where you just never know when to actually start him because he's not going to get enough volume to be like, oh yeah, we're locking him in every single week to the flex. It's just not going to happen. Look at it kind of similar to what Jamal Williams was last year, where if Jamal Williams didn't score a touchdown, it was a waste of a start. But there would be other weeks where it'd be like, man, I'm really glad I started Jamal Williams. But Damian Harris won't rush for 17 touchdowns this year either. So, what up, K-Mac? Regarding the projections and aggregate of you both are 2 separate lists. Bobby, they're not projections, they're rankings. So you're not going to look at them and see the numbers projected next to them. They're just our rankings. And it's basically the average of Jake's and I's put together. So we each do our separate rankings, and then they're averaged out, and one set of rankings go into the draft guide. And then him and I do the tiers together. We actually sit down for the tier rankings. So the cheat sheets and the tier rankings are different. We sit down together with the tier rankings, and we agree on where we're putting people. How high to draft Madison? Madison's like a mid RB2 for me. I'm not going any higher than that. I really wouldn't want him before the 3rd round, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. My hair's kind of a mess today. My hair's kind of a mess. Could Peoples-Jones have a sneaky big year? I don't think so. I think he's going to make some big plays every once in a while, but Elijah Moore takes away a lot of the volume that may have gone his way. Jalen over Deuce Vaughn. I would do Jalen Warren over Deuce Vaughn. Kendre Miller over Jalen and Deuce. The only way I go Kendre Miller over Jalen if his Alvin Kamara gets a lengthy suspension. If not, then I'll take the number 2 in Pittsburgh compared to the number 3 in New Orleans. And you have to remember, in New Orleans, who knows what they're doing with Taysom Hill. Nick, thoughts on 5th pick PPR redraft? Bijan Robinson or best wide receiver available will might most likely go CMC, Jefferson, Chase, and Eckler. That's a little high for Bijan for me. But I understand. I get it, but I'm not willing to spend the fifth overall pick on Bijan. People are just overlooking the fact that Tyler Algier is still going to get touches this year. It's going to happen. And Tyler Algier was pretty darn good last season on a per-touch basis. So am I going with him number 5 overall? What format did you say? You didn't say if it was half or full or anything. I'm going Jonathan Taylor over Bijan still. Y'all can call me crazy if you want to. I'm going Jonathan Taylor over Bijan still. How does the best ball thing work? Like when I draft, am I versus 12 other people and then my team versus like everyone else's team? Best ball is essentially like any other fantasy league that you would do. The only difference is you don't have to set a lineup. Your lineup is set weekly based on the best scores. So in best ball, if you can start, quote unquote, 2 running backs and you have 4 on your roster, then at the end of the week, your lineup is going to set with the 2 highest scoring running backs locked into that position. And then if you can start 3 wide receivers and you have 6, then at the end of the week, your lineup will lock with the 3 highest scoring wide receivers. Now, most best ball leagues just do overall points for the season, so it's not head-to-head. It'd be more like a roto league if you were playing baseball. It'd be most total points for the season. It's not typically going to be head-to-head for best ball. But other than that, it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. Najee only missed 2 games since. No, Brandon, I get that, but what I'm saying is based on the severity of an injury, you can't just say Najee's always going to play hurt. If he has a sprained knee or a sprained ligament or something like that, he probably won't play through that. He hasn't really had an injury that he hasn't been able to use pain management for. That's what I'm trying to point out, is that there's injuries where he's not going to be able to play through it. So just to lay an overall sweeping, he plays through injuries, that isn't necessarily accurate. So far it has been, because he hasn't had an injury that he wasn't really able to play through. But that might not be the case going forward, if that makes sense. How do I get my redraft friends into Dynasty? It can be tough, especially for people who aren't like super like fantasy football like enthusiasts. It can be tough. So I understand that. I understand that. Honestly, tell them to come watch us. Tell them to come into the live stream right now. I'll convince them. Andy, what amount of money would I shave my beard and head for? I already have. I shaved my head last year for, was it 1,500 members? And I've already told the community, if we can get 10,000 members, I'll get a tattoo on my butt that says Tight End Whisperer. I've already shaved my head and my beard for far less. Rashad Penny breakout from Dennis. It's going to be hard with DeAndre Swift there. It will be, because they will split touches. They'll split touches for sure. What's a standard league full PPR? A standard league is where you don't get points per reception. Then half PPR is where you get half a point per reception, and then full PPR. And now that I'm saying all this, I guess I'm assuming you're being sarcastic. Okay, never mind, Ben. Later, Nick. Nick, I may after this is done may hop over with you. We've been running it up on ranked multiplayer. We sit down for the tier ranking, so y'all do the other stuff standing up. Yes. Good old Anna. Thoughts on Kelsey Mahomes stacks? Viable or too risky? It's risky in the sense that if you do it, you're going to have to do Kelsey in the first round and Mahomes in the second. So you're going to be heading into the third, then needing to start drafting running backs right away because they're going to start running out. Essentially, for you to do a Kelsey and a Mahomes stack, you're going to have to probably do some sort of a 0 running back draft, and you have to get very lucky with 0 running back. People live by 0 running back, but honestly, 0 running back is just about drafting backups and hoping somebody gets hurt. And I really don't want to spend my fantasy season rooting for people to get hurt so my fantasy team can succeed. That's kind of a garbage way to go about things, but that's exactly what 0 running back is. You draft a bunch of backups and you hope people get hurt because that's the only way your team is winning. So to do that, you're going to have to essentially do some sort of a modified 0 running back. In the third round, you might get some decent running back value there, but then your wide receivers could end up being very weak. Or if you go wide receivers in the third, then your running backs are going to be very weak. That's why it's going to be very risky to do. Is it viable? Absolutely. And you could potentially win with it. You're going to have to get lucky, though. Bill, Bijan is going to have a very good rookie season. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm just not willing to say he's a top 2 or 3 overall player, which is essentially what he's being drafted as right now. My thing just scrolled all the way down. Nick, it's a 14-team league. I don't remember what your original question was. Oh, 14 teams? I probably go running back then, because if you're picking 5 by the time it gets back to you, there's not going to be much available. I'm going Jonathan Taylor. Like I said, I still have him ranked over Bijan. We do call you crazy. Not for your fantasy football decisions, though. I appreciate it. Thank you. What up, Josh? Rory would take Gibbs over Bijan. I couldn't do that. But Gibbs and Bijan are a lot closer than people gave Gibbs credit for. Brandon, I got Jonathan Taylor as a keeper in my standard league. I have to choose my other keeper. My choices are Saquon and Najee. If you're wanting to play it safe, it's going to be Saquon. If you want some more upside, I believe it would be Najee. I'm still going to go Saquon, though, there if you want. Miltruck, I like your take on Bijan. It's not a popular take. It's not. We are going against the consensus. But the last time we went that hard against the consensus on a take on a rookie running back, it was when we told everybody that you were setting yourself up for failure if you drafted CEH in the first round of your drafts back when he was a rookie. We got torched after week 1 because he had a huge week, and then we ended up being right the rest of the season. We really had to stick to our guns there. And Bijan absolutely could finish as the RB2 or RB3, but he's going to need like 1,800 total yards and like 15 touchdowns to make it happen. And I think he's just going to lose too many of those high leverage touches to Algier. Algier is going to get, I guarantee, 120 rushing attempts this year. I'd be shocked if he didn't. He was too good last year, and Arthur Smith wants to pound the football. He's not going to want to give Bijan Robinson 350 touches his rookie season. Calf cam forehead kisses. I got those preseason calves right now. I'm working on getting them into a little bit better season shape. Thoughts on Hunt and why is he still available? He just doesn't have the get up and go anymore. He just doesn't. I mean, I'm not going. If somebody wanted Kareem Hunt that bad, they would have already signed him. Will he land somewhere? Probably. But it might be like an invitation to training camp. I just don't foresee him making a fantasy impact without going somewhere in a great situation and having some injuries. A little more gray in the beard? Not really. Not any more than last season. About the same. About the same. Ramondre Stevenson over Derrick Henry. I've got Derrick Henry at 4. Ramondre Stevenson at 5. Kevin, 8th pick in a 12-team PPR redraft. Capable of starting 4 wide receivers. Start with Hill, Amon-Ra, or go Bijan and Amon-Ra Wilson if available. I mean, if Bijan is still available at the 8th overall pick, I'd probably just go for that because he's going to be a top 3 to 5 pick in every league this year. So that's where I'm like, it's hard to pass up that value. And then I go wide receiver in the 2nd round. Swag, you're a gorgeous man. Mike, I appreciate you. Thanks so much. Blitz, you're welcome. What's up, JJ? Rawl, would you be batcrap insane to pick C-Mac first overall if I had the chance to? Christian McCaffrey? No, not at all. It's really between him and Justin Jefferson for the number 1 overall pick this year. It's between those two. I just did, oh my gosh, it just scrolled all the way down again. I just did 2 Dynasty startups, and I did the Mahomes-Kelsey stack. In Dynasty, it's a lot easier to do that stack because even if it doesn't work out for you this year, hopefully some of those guys that you draft a little bit later will help reinforce your team for next year. But be very careful doing the Mahomes-Kelsey stack in Dynasty because Kelsey's 33. He could hang it up after this year. That potential is there right now. When are you dropping draft links? Jake may have dropped one recently. I haven't recently. There's not going to be a fantasy league like we did last year. We're going to do something through Underdog, but it's not going to be a weekly set your lineup thing like we did last year. It will be much different. There's no way we have time to deal with that crap again. That was ridiculous last year. Kyle, what is all included in the draft guide, and can you adapt it to your league scoring system, roster size, and cap for auction? Dunzo, here's the greatest thing about our draft guide. It's not set up to help you with a specific area. It is set up to help you with players. It is about making you more prepared to select who you believe to be the best players that year. So, like for our cheat sheets, we do standard, half, and full PPR cheat sheets. We do a section with different draft strategies. So if you're doing auction or best ball, if you're doing super flex, 2 QB leagues, we talk about those things a little bit. But the large majority of our draft guide is filling you in on player information and breaking down those players for you, which is the best way to do it. If you're buying draft guides that are set up specifically for leagues and stuff, that's not helping you because it's trying to convince you to do something based on your league. Why would you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want to learn more about players and learn more about who you think you should draft and who you shouldn't draft? And then that way, if you decide I'm going to play in this type of league or this type of league or that league or this league, but I have all the information on all these players already, so I know I'm set up for success, why wouldn't you want to do that? So, no, it's not set up to say, hey, you play in this type of league? Well, yes, it's set up to cover you no matter what because we spend so much time breaking down players and situations. All right, my thing has scrolled all the way down. So if you have a question, drop it now because I've missed it because it scrolled all the way down. Thomas, we do keepers as first round picks. I have Justin Jefferson, but if I get first overall, should I take Bijan? Because I'll be able to keep him year after year as my first round pick. I mean, I'm still taking Justin Jefferson right now. I understand your thought process there, but I'm going Justin Jefferson. Thoughts on Deshaun Watson? Could he finish top 6? Could he? Yes. Will he? I don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is because part of me hopes that Stefanski realizes how much he screwed up last year and goes back to saying, hey, we got to pound the football and then we'll take what we can get in the passing game afterwards. Could Sam Howell finish as a top half quarterback? Like top half QB1, like top 6? No. QB1 area, like top 12? Probably not. I would be more around like QB 18-ish area. QB 18, 20. Most fantasy-friendly teams this season? What up, Dave? I mean, obviously, your best quarterback teams, really. And there might be something on that coming up soon, too. Where should Zeke land? Well, at one point it was Philadelphia. I would like Dalvin Cook. I think Zeke is close to being done at this point. I really do. Dalvin Cook, I believe, still has a little bit left in the tank. I would like to see Dalvin Cook land in Miami. Are you more into RB starts or best player available? Does it depend on the format? Blitz, it depends on the format. It depends on how the draft board falls. I mean, and Blitz, excuse me here, this is not meant to be looking down on you or any way, shape, or form. I don't know how long you've been here, Blitz. I don't remember if you've been around a while. My apologies. Your name does sound familiar, though, so I feel like you've been around. We say it all the time. Don't fall in love with a strategy going into your draft. Don't. You have to be flexible. If you go into your draft saying this is what I'm doing and this is how it's going to be, your draft at least 75% of the time is not going to turn out the way that you want it to. Have a good outline, be willing to adjust, and then when you get into the draft, be like, okay, I'm going to do this because I just got this guy to fall to me. Like I said a minute ago, someone said, should I take Bijan at 8 if he falls there? Bijan's going to be going anywhere between 3 and 5. So if he falls all the way to 8, absolutely jump on Bijan Robinson at 8. But you weren't expecting that, so you're not planning on it. Milk Truck. It all depends on how much you win. You have to win a certain threshold of money to get tax forms. But if you think that you've gotten there, it's better to check than not because that will get you if you're not careful. If Hopkins lands in New England, I would be willing to go wide receiver 2 area with him. I don't know if I'd go wide receiver 1 yet. I've been a subscriber for a few years. Okay, appreciate the chat. Blitz, like I said, I thought the name sounded familiar, but quite honestly, we've kind of gotten to the point where it's really hard to separate names. I will tell you this. The members, I recognize a lot of the member names because we talk in Discord so much. I mean, Nick's a member. Nick, did you become a member last year? I can't remember. Nick and I talk at least 5 times a week because we play games together so much now. Mike and I have played games together quite a bit. Supreme Beam, if you see him in the chat, I play with games with him and his family all the time now. Ben has helped me in Minecraft greatly, so I didn't look like an idiot in front of my son. Any changes to weekly in-season videos? I don't know for certain yet. It's going to be relatively the same, but we have a couple things in the works. I can't disclose. NDA out of my mind. Dave, I know who Dave is. Dave, your name is just Dave in YouTube, so if I were to see it, I might glance over it, but I absolutely know who you are based on that Discord tag. Okay, so you get tax forms for over $600 in profit after buy-ins. So if you spent $600 in buy-ins, well, let's say you spent $1,000 in buy-ins, but you only won $600, you wouldn't get a tax form. Thoughts on DJ Moore, Justice? Does anybody want to tell Justice where he should go to see my thoughts on DJ Moore? Because clearly he didn't watch yesterday's video. Okay, Nick's been a member for almost 2 years. We just haven't had time for Discombobulated. It's something we definitely want to try and keep doing, but the fantasy stuff comes first. Just because you join as a member, you are not guaranteed best friend and game player status. No, but it greatly helps your chances. Anna and I are basically best friends now. Mike becoming a member for the 19th month. Mike, appreciate your support for almost 2 years now. I talk to Kyle and the video game boys more than my in real life friends at this point. I don't have in real life friends. All of my friends are virtual. And that's true. That's honestly true. I have like 2 people I might consider like in real life friends, maybe. And that would be it. Dr. Dominic Schultz would be one of them. He's my chiropractor. He started off my chiropractor. We've coached Little League together. He's done training with me. If you guys were in the area, I would give you his business card, but I don't know how many of you are in the area. And then somebody else I've coached with. Those are really the only 2 people like in my life that I talk to. I wouldn't even consider a friend. Everyone else is online. Keenan Allen, I think Keenan Allen will be fine this year. I really do. I think I'd probably go with wide receiver 2 area a little bit more just because of adding Quentin Johnston, but all it takes is a Mike Williams injury. Later, Dennis. What was my favorite NFL game from last season? Oh my gosh, I don't even remember. Probably the Lions beating Green Bay at Green Bay to end the season, if I had to pick one. Rory becoming a member for the 7th month. I love the information because I love to win. Y'all can hate me. I'll still watch your videos. Wait, why would we hate you? Who said that? Jets running back situation playing out. I do see them easing Breece Hall into it. If they ran him out there for 25 touches a game, I'd be shocked to start the year. Blitz, absolutely. 100%. Agree. I still watch all the time. Okay. What rookie wide receiver do you think has the biggest season and or impact on their team? Well, here's the issue. For rookie wide receivers, oh boy. For rookie wide receivers, hey, Anna, can you post, if you're able to, or maybe not because you're just watching on your phone, can you post the links on how to join Discord for Milk Truck? Milk Truck, you have to become a member on the channel. It's a membership perk for being a member here on YouTube. But if you become a member by hitting that blue join button down below, then it's pretty easy on how to access our Discord after that. There isn't a rookie wide receiver that landed in a smash spot. That's kind of the problem this year, is that all of them have hurdles to being fantasy viable. Somebody asked about Zay Flowers earlier. You've got Mark Andrews, OBJ, Rashad Bateman. Jackson Smith-Njigba, who is my wide receiver 1 and still, I think, the best overall rookie wide receiver in this draft class. But he's got Tyler Lockett and he's got DK Metcalf. Quentin Johnston is probably the closest to helping with the most upside because he's literally a Mike Williams injury away from being the main alpha on the outside. So Jordan Addison also is going to be very close, but you have to remember that they also have TJ Hawkinson for a full season now. So again, it's really kind of pick and choose with the rookie wide receivers because nobody's in a situation where you say this guy's going to get a ton of targets. It's just not that way this year. Brian Litnick gifting 5 memberships to the Headliner Nation community. Brian, Mo, Mooa family, Devin, and Rakesh all becoming members. Make sure y'all thank Litnick for the gifted memberships. Appreciate you. Jose becoming a member for the 25th month. It's crazy to think that we've had members around for 25 months. Proud to be a member. Love the community. Pre-ordered my draft guide. All in, baby. Thinking JJ over C-Mac with the first pick this year. Justin Jefferson is my number 1 overall player in half and full PPR leagues. He is. I've got him 1 over C-Mac at number 2. If you wanted to go Christian McCaffrey again, though, I wouldn't argue it with you. Litnick, appreciate that. Litnick gifting those 5 memberships for hitting 100 likes. Israel Mbakanda from the New York Jets. He's not going to get touches over Michael Carter, probably. It would take Breece Hall starting the year on IR for him to have anything at this point. I mean, long term, you can try and hold on to him, but he's likely not happening. Ladies and gentlemen, I did a video a few weeks ago, and this is why it is really, really important that people try to pay attention in the offseason. I know football is not at the forefront during the offseason, and a lot of people kind of take a step back and say, oh, I'm not really going to pay attention right now, and then try to come back. And I did a video a few weeks ago before the draft, actually a couple months ago now at this point, before the draft, that was essentially running backs don't matter. And nobody really watched it. Running backs that are drafted after the first 2 days. So any running back after round 1, 2, or 3, any running back after that, 90% of the time don't do anything in fantasy. Anything in fantasy. And I listed out all of those. For every Dameon Pierce you have that ends up becoming fantasy viable, or every Isaiah Pacheco you have that becomes fantasy viable, you have 15 other guys that did absolutely nothing that people jumped on just because they liked him in college. It doesn't work that way at the NFL level, ladies and gentlemen. It just doesn't. You got to be careful with that. Tyrone. Well, the thing is Jordan Addison isn't taking KJ Osborne's job because they can coexist together. They're going to run 3 wide resets with those guys on the field. So I don't think it's that Jordan Addison is taking KJ Osborne's job because they're going to be on the field a lot together. However, if they didn't think KJ Osborne was that viable wide receiver too, they wouldn't have drafted Jordan Addison. So clearly they think Jordan Addison is the answer over KJ Osborne. Because if that were the case, they would have waited and drafted a wide receiver 3 type of player a little bit later on, knowing that they already have TJ Hawkinson for a full year. The writing's on the wall with that one. I don't think it's because KJ Osborne is bad by any means, but it's pretty clear. Jalen Hyatt is not the type of wide receiver the Giants needed. I don't know if he's going to win against cornerback ones at the NFL level more times than not. Is there a discount for the draft guide? There was, but not anymore. Not anymore. But, Felipe, if you sign up through Underdog, if you're able to, you can get it for $10 instead of for $21.99. But I'll tell you, it's going to be the best $21.99 you've ever spent. I mean, that's not even a doubt in my mind. Raffy, here are my keeper options this year. I'm leaning Amon-Ra St. Brown and Ridley, but thinking Hard about possible big jump by Pacheco. I'm keeping Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Ridley over Pacheco. Their upside is much higher. Isaac, that's essentially true. That is essentially true. They really needed they needed Quentin Johnston on the outside. That's what they needed. They needed somebody like him. This draft did not have more than one Quentin Johnston, though. That's the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap it up. Quick questions to kind of finish this thing. Let's get some more answers in here for all of you. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up through Underdog yet using our code word, download the app, go to underdog.com, use code word headliners when you sign up, deposit your $10 right after that, and you're going to get our draft guide for free, technically for $10. It's a $21.99 purchase if you want to buy the draft guide outright. If you go through Underdog, you get it for only $10. It's over 50% off. Just pay the $21.99. I know I will. The draft guide has made me. Devin, you know what's up, Devin. Next gaming live stream, I don't know, to be honest. We're doing so much work on the draft guide right now. I don't know what gameplay is going on in Underdog. Wouldn't mind matching $100. I mean, you can do best ball drafts like crazy right now. And then they will also have like pick'ems in season that we'll do. Kind of similar to like what we did last year. We'll have those in season too. Dark horse quarterback this year. Hey, Nick, are you still out there? Could you tell Mo who my dark horse quarterback is this year? You know. We talk about him all the time. Tank Bigsby worth a dart throw? He's not. He's a backup to Travis Etienne. He's not taking Travis Etienne touches. Where do you have Dalton Schultz? More along the lines of like a high-end tight end 2, low-end tight end 1. I don't know if the upside will be there. Target should be, but I don't know if the upside will. That cool dude who does backflips. Anthony Richardson. I will post a Underdog draft link right now. How about that, Mike? Season-long pick'ems just come out? Then absolutely we'll make sure that we hit that soon. Let's see here. We'll do a 12-person $3 draft. Share this draft. Copy the link. You're going to see it posted here on YouTube in the comments just a second. You're welcome, Milk Truck. Hold on just a second. Nick, maybe I'll help you out here in a few minutes. We'll see when it comes through. It's not showing. Okay, so what? Oh, you know what? I bet I know what it is. Why? Nope, that's not what I wanted. Toggle moderation activity. Moderation activity will be shown. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end the live stream here in a couple of minutes. Come back to this video once it posts, and there will be a link to an underdog draft posted. There'll be a link to an underdog draft posted in the comment section of this video when you can see it. It might take a few minutes to render and everything, but it will be there. So keep coming back and checking. Brandon just pre-ordered your draft guide. I will keep an eye on it and see how many were pre-ordered. Like I said, if we had 15 by the time I finished, I would pick one of you. We will reach out to the person that ends up winning it. We'll reach out to you via email if we hit that. Brad Booth becoming a member for the 25th month. Good morning, Kyle. Hope all is good. You guys have been killing it this offseason. When do you think the draft guide will drop? July 1st. July 1st. Actually, I can tell you real quick how many pre-orders we've had. But don't forget, come back to this video. You're probably going to have to leave YouTube, give it 15, 20 minutes or so. And then I'll post the link to it in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've had 7 pre-orders since I went live. We've had 7 pre-orders since I went live. All right. July 1st is a holiday. I feel like Nick is setting me up for something here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate everybody hanging out for the last hour and 15 minutes or so. It's been a lot of fun, as always. Make sure, again, sign up through happy draft. I knew it was something. Sign up through Underdog, code word headliners, deposit $10. You're going to get your draft guide for free. They'll match your deposit up to $100. And don't forget, if you do that, we are going to pick one of those people to pick out something from Jake's office. So make sure that you do that. Our friends at Pristine Auction that do all of our giveaways for us. Head over to pristineauction.com. Sign up through them. Code word headliners. They're going to give you a $10 coupon off your first purchase. Make sure you go show them some love because they do all of our giveaways again in 2023. They're going to be back on board, which is exciting. Pre-order your draft guide. The link is pinned in the comment section right here in the live chat. It is pinned. Go there, click on it, pre-order your draft guide, $21.99. It will be the best purchase you make all year. I promise you that. The guide drops in a week, less than on July 1st. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here. Peace out. Stay safe. Stay healthy. I'll catch y'all on the next episode of the Fantasy Headliners. Later.
When the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe.